This was originally scheduled for November, but today's date is December 4th, and the time is 5:34. I will acknowledge that Commissioner Menchaca, Commissioner Sanchez, Commissioner Dueñas with a nice tie, and Commissioner Martinez, myself, Commissioner Santos, we have a quorum. Therefore, we can begin. I will call for the approval of the minutes of October 25th.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
All right, second, thank you very much. It's so moved. I don't believe there's anybody here that wants to do any public comments. Thank you very much. Good. All right, Miguel, let's get started.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have no updates to the GM report or the financial report, so if there's no questions on those, we can move right into the resolutions.
Colleagues, we're okay? I'll let them move. Okay, all right. Okay,
So
proceed.
first resolution, 03 FY 2026, seeking approval of the IDIQ undersized water line replacement design and CM services contract. As explained in the work session, this was originally awarded to Brown and Caldwell. We had a contract in place, and then the authority exercised its rights under the contract to terminate for convenience, and we moved to select the second most qualified offerer, which is Dueñas Camacho and Associates in this case. So these projects that are outlined include multiple task orders for a authorized contract amount of $2.72 million. However, we intend to award just the first contract task orders up to $1.5 million, which is EPA SRF grant funded. We expect completion of the work contemplated in this contract by 2030, including construction management services. For the balance of the authorized contract amount, we will be using bond funds, interest from bond funds and IFCIP as needed to authorize in the future task orders up to the $2.72 million amount that we're seeking approval from you for this evening. There's no, that's all we have on this resolution, if there are any questions.
Yeah, move to approve resolution number 03 FY 2026 relative to the approval of an IDIQ undersized water line replacement design and construction management contract.
Second, okay. All right, guys. Any other questions?
Yeah, just, Miguel, can you repeat that? You're saying that the lowest bidder who was awarded rescinded their
No.
their proposal?
No, this is not a bid. This was based on qualifications because it's engineering and professional services.
Mm-hmm.
So it was originally awarded to Brown and Caldwell,
Right.
but due to a conflict with Brown and Caldwell on the GBB lawsuit,
Oh, okay.
we elected, they did not disclose the conflict to us, and so we elected to terminate for convenience. And then because the project is important, move forward with the second highest ranked qualified firm.
That's good, as long as we're pinching pennies at wherever we can get, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I did get a second, right? Either way. All right, call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next.
Next, Mr. Chair's Resolution 05 FY 2026, and this is seeking approval of a contract amendment for an existing IDIQ professional project and construction management services for the island-wide sewer collection transmission system repair, rehabilitation, and replacement. This is a contract that is required under the partial consent decree to help us meet those critical deadlines. So we are seeking approval of amendment number 3 to the IDIQ contract for a task order number 3, which would increase funding on the contract to accomplish several sewer line replacement projects, which are enumerated in the documents. These sites are located throughout Guam, including Agate, Chalapago, Hagåtña, Manilao, Pidi, and Tamuning. We are looking for an additional $2.863 million to execute this task order, which would increase the total funding amount of the contract to $9.813 million. And the completion will depend on the site-specific conditions that we encounter during the design for these sewer transmission system replacement projects, including the permit requirements. So Currently, the funding for this is available based on what we've identified in the CIP, using both grants and bond funds and internally funded CIP.
When we talk about 9 million, that's big money. They have a way to break it down to that point, to that amount, right? So
Yes.
we can accountability each one.
Yes, the
So-
9.8 million is for the total contract, which
Yes.
includes prior authorized task orders. We are seeking an increase only of 2.863 million to cover task order number 3, which provides design services for the 7 sites identified in the documents. So, and each one has a
can be-
specific.
Yeah, so you can break it down and we can, good. That's nice to know.
And we're okay with Brown Cobble in this particular?
This one, we would like, we would consider also the conflict issue, but this one, because of the partial consent decree and the tightness of the deadlines, we're kind of, our hands are tied on this.
Okay.
Yeah, move to approve resolution number 05 FY 2026.
I'd like to second that.
Second,
Better.
Commissioner Twice. Okay, colleagues, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Gil, real quick, just update us on the notice up at Jonia. Are we,
Yeah, so there was a coliform positive sample that was collected in the distribution system on Monday. The regulations require that we take repeat samples to confirm whether it is in fact an issue with the
Okay.
distribution system. The data from the repeat sampling indicated that it was a private plumbing issue and not a distribution system issue.
Okay.
But Guam EPA required us to send out that notice anyway. And, you know, all the data pointed that it was not a distribution system issue. So after we had the second set of repeat samples from the distribution system confirmed, come out negative, at that point, they allowed us to
ahead
lift
and
it, which, you know, it
By
was
then
issued
it's-
last night and was rescinded this morning, so.
Do we know how it even got?
That's a great troubleshooting clarification to the public, you know.
Yeah,
So it's good that we do our job and thoroughly, you know, exploit that, which is good job. I commend you with that.
Thank you, Commissioner. To answer the question, do we know how it got in? It was something in so the sample locations are picked by Guam EPA. In this particular residence, the sample tap was itself contaminated, and that was causing the positive. So an alternative site, an alternative tap from the same location was totally clean. And then upstream and downstream were totally clean.
There you go.
So it was just that one piping on private plumbing that caused the problem.
Good analysis.
And then we're going to inform the public, or
We already have informed the
Yeah.
public, and we submitted our notice.
Let's put that in our newsletter.
We'll get it out on the social media
Yeah.
and also on the microsite.
Good job.
We did submit a request, or our notification to Guam EPA that we were challenging that particular NOV and public notice, so,
Great job.
It's good it's isolated.
yeah.
Keep up the good work.
all right.
Oh,
Good.
one
Well done.
other thing, there's going to be a continuation of the Dildren oversight hearing, is that?
I believe that's scheduled for the 11th.
Okay, and so, you know, obviously we've addressed the issues, so, have we been briefed yet on what exactly they want to cover?
I think they just want updates. I don't know how much of an update they're going to want from us. There might be additional updates they were expecting from Guam EPA about source investigation or something like that.
Out of our hands now. Okay,
That's correct.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you, GWA. Thank you, guys.
Do we have executive session? Thank you.
Nobody wants to be evaluated. Nobody wants to be evaluated.
We have an issue with having the right people on islands, the right.
Well,
the right-
we're okay, but nobody wants. The 2 lawyers, the 2 CFOs, they're all gone. They're all gone. We're here.
Yeah,
They're gone.
there's a- that's the
Not
problem.
not our fault,
Do you have a
right?
card?
You're on.
Would you
You
like
want
us?
to do updates first, or you want to do the resolutions?
It is up to
You're-
you, sir.
No, ma'am, you're
So we have Frank Santos here. He's the acting AGMO.
Agmo, sure.
And so he is prepared to give an update, a very general update on what type of testing Ukudu is doing now and what we can expect. So if you'd like, I'd like
I
him
would
to
like
go
to
ahead and
hear
do that.
that. That is-
Okay.
We are not load shedding, which is absolutely great news.
That's good.
Okay. Okay, we are currently testing Okudu. We are about, maybe carrying at this time about 85 megawatts.
We can't hear. Just a little louder,
Just speak a little louder.
guys.
Yeah, just speak a little louder.
Okudu is currently
There you
testing.
go, yeah.
We're pushing about, currently at the moment, about 85 megawatts. That goes up and down. We've gone as high as 208 megawatts, and then have done a load rejection test of a maximum of about 65 megawatts, which we were able to survive,
Yeah.
which is good news. And we will be testing over the next few days, and hopefully by next week, we'll go into reliability testing, which means that we'll be running at full capacity whenever we can, as load permits. Their full capacity is about 198 megawatts net. However, we don't have all that 24 hours a day, so we'll give it to them when we can, and then we'll drop their load for the remaining of the day and move on from there.
I think John B. uses the word 51% thermal something. Yeah, are
Efficiency,
they at
yes.
that?
That's part of the testing that they're doing, so we will have those numbers as soon as they're available from them.
Okay. But you can, go ahead.
Add that, I'll add that John B. has been monitoring and he's been calculating the efficiency. So at last update, he did believe that the Ukudu power plant will meet the 51% efficiency
By.
when they're commissioned. When they're
Chasing a target date.
when they're commissioned, the target date.
As a Christmas present to us, we might,
On or before December 31, 2025, sir.
okay, so New Year's present.
So does anybody know how the thermal efficiency is calculated? Is it taking the STG megawatts and then the total megawatts divided by the total fuel that's?
John, you want to address that?
How do you measure thermal efficiency?
Yeah, how are you measuring it?
In plain English, John,
It's the heat content of the fuel that you consume, right? Which is in MBTUs, right? And it's MBTU per kilowatt hour. So it's divided by the total output of the generator.
Yeah,
Okay. So a heat rate, the efficiency of the heat rate would be MBTU per kilowatt hour or megawatt hour.
and I commend Frank, good job on the dispatch representation, but sometimes I like to hear from the general manager of Okudu itself. It'll be nice to be visited, at least from, on some of our meetings, from them itself. So I know you can monitor with all our electronics from the dispatch center, but it's good to have it from the, from their perspective, from their leadership. So sometimes I think it's good to be visited from them, if we can invite them. But good job,
Commissioner
Frank.
Dueñas, have you visited Ukudu?
Not yet,
Ah,
but I like to schedule that.
well, you need to schedule a visit.
Yeah,
sir.
but the concept itself, I've been for 20 years.
Yeah, no, I'm just-
But I like to visit, but
Okay, well,
they
let's-
promised me a visit, but,
Oh, no, that's.
there's a time and place, time for everything, so.
Okay, good.
But I've been
There's
trying
time.
to,
All right. Okay, thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Oh, wait, what about Cabras 1 and 2, and what about my favorite MEC? What's happening? We haven't heard.
MEC's operating normally. At this time, we have
Both?
both of them, yes.
Okay, what about,
Cabras 2 is down. We have a boiler tube leak. We're working on that. We hope to get it back right after the weekend.
all right, and Cabras 1 is running at?
Cabras 1 is fine. It's running at 25 megawatts.
Okay, good. That's it then. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so with that, Mr. Chair, would you like to move on to Resolution FY 2026-03, which is the LEAC update?
Sure.
All right.
Actually, you want to do the simpler ones first?
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm,
So if we're going
Yeah.
to do that, I would like to request your permission to table Resolution FY 2026-06 relative to the write-off of the Guam
Okay.
Power Authority. We are scrubbing the data,
Okay.
and there is something with the data that we'd like to
All right.
verify.
Press on, yeah. Good.
Okay.
okay,
So would you like to start with the
You, I'm-
EPCM?
sure.
Okay. So we're going to go to, Candace, we're going to go to resolution number FY 2026-04, relative to the authorization of the contract increase and time extension for the engineering, procurement, and construction management, AKA EPCM, regarding GPA's RFP 21-010. So we are requesting that the CCU allow GPA to do two things. To extend the EPCM contract, which expired on November 30th, and we would like to extend that for 2 years. That's one of our options that we have, from December 1, 2025 through, it should be November 30, 2027. The reason for the extension is to do two things. One is to continue to have technical services for Cabras 1 and 2 because of the delay of the Ukadu Power Plant commissioning. And the second is to gain your permission for $179,398, which is over the approved budget that you and the PUC had previously authorized. And so the reason that we need $179,398 would be to cover the costs for the extension of the PMC, for the extension of the Ukadu power plant oversight PCM up until the commissioning and then a little bit thereafter. And second, to start on some of the additional LNG phases, but the specific work for LNG will be requested through a separate resolution.
Would that mean an additional amount on top of this contract for that specific?
For
work
the
with LNG?
additional LNG, possibly, yes.
That's-
And so that's not what we're asking for at all.
But you're going to use them as the consultant for that particular
Currently,
discussion?
Yes, so they have, as you already know, they've already completed the first phase, and that's to update the LNG study. And I believe that that was, so it was presented to this body probably early this year. Okay.
Motion to approve
Yeah.
FY 2026-04.
Second.
With Okudu going on, I know we're gonna decommission the Cabras, but it's, Cabras 1 and 2 has been faithful for Guam for a long time, so I just wish we can still kind of stretch it out just a little bit more before we really decommission everything, you know, just in case, you know, something goes on, at least we have some insurance to work with, you know, even though if, we don't operate it as,
Commissioner Duenas, can we discuss that at the next
Sure.
resolution?
sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'll call for the vote then on resolution FY 2026-04. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, next is GPA Resolution FY 2025-05 relative to authorizing the extension of the Cabras 1 and 2 PMC contract until May 31, 2026. So again, very similar to what I had mentioned earlier, the Ukadu commissioning has been delayed from September 30, 2025 to before or by December 31, 2025. And so with that, we will have fuel, as John B. had mentioned. We will have additional fuel to burn off. But more importantly, we do need to have the PMC to support us until Ukadu is online. I must note right now that we are we're considering all of our options. So we do understand that the additional PMC will cost us some money, additional money. So we are looking at options on whether or not we can possibly sell the additional fuel we have, which will prevent us from having to burn the fuel and have the plant operating. All of this is in consideration that, as Frank had mentioned, Cabras 2 is really experiencing a lot more frequent boiler tube leaks. We don't want to be pushing these plants. However, we also are mindful of our commitment to US EPA to make sure that the plants are decommissioned per our consent decree. So how much will it cost? The estimated cost for this extension, again, the extension is for 4 months, is $1.026 million for the fixed management fee, and an additional $400,000 for reimbursable O&M expenses, making the total estimated cost to be $1.426 million for the 4-month period, or approximately $357,000 per month. So that makes the grand total since September 30, 2020, expended on the TEMAS PMC to be $20,959,712.
And that it says to operate the Cabras 1 and 2.
That's correct.
And the boiler leak, I know we've been having that for many, many years, and it's just to rectify it, just to replace the pipe itself. We do have a lot of supplies on pipes online that we do have stored in Cabras. So it's good that, we're able to try to stretch that when we can until, we're really smooth sailing. And it's not a very, very expensive thing to replace any boiler tubes, but we've been having boiler tubes many times. So, yeah, it's just we have to shut it down and make sure we can go in.
It is labor intensive.
Yeah, well, I understand. I've been there many times inside.
Motion to approve Resolution FY 2026-05.
Second.
Okay. Any other questions, colleagues? Commissioner Nuez, you good?
Move on.
Okay, request to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, I'd like to move on to GPA Resolution 2026-007 relative to the amendment for fiscal year 2026. And with that, I would like our CFO, John Kim, to explain this resolution.
Yes. For this,
Just one quick question regarding the last resolution. The current consent decree, what is the deadline for us to decommission the unit? Is it past May?
On the current consent decree, we had permission to have the Ukudu power plant, this is what EPA, US EPA has acknowledged, is the commissioning date of September 30, 2025. US EPA has been issued notice that we have missed that date, but we have not received official acknowledgement from the US EPA, which has been very difficult to get this year. So the consent decree says that Cabras shall be retired, Cabras 1 and 2 shall be retired no later than 6 months after the official commissioning date.
Okay.
So if they approve that the official commissioning date is December 31, 2025, we will be asking for that extension. However, we don't know if the US EPA will grant that extension. So right now we are looking at March 30, 2026, excuse me, and that corresponds with our budget, the GPA's budget that you've approved. So there are additional costs to keep the plant running. And so we are really looking to see how we can mitigate any additional expenses and at the same time make sure that we do have some backup should additional delays happen.
But are we running it just to burn, primarily we're running it to burn off the fuel?
Once Ukudu
And
commissions,
the fuel is
correct,
the
that's
most
correct.
expensive part of it, but we can get fuel cheaper nowadays,
Yeah, but you can't get fuel
Can't.
for that.
We already have the
Cabras is
fuel.
only
Yeah.
plant that can burn that fuel.
We have the fuel
That's correct.
already.
Yeah, so-
Commissioner
And you had-
Sanchez.
Yeah,
Or the
But-
plan, the
but-
additional plan is to sell it.
but when you run it.
Yes,
at
we're
a
exploring
lower
that
megawatt,
option, Chairman.
It doesn't,
No, but
Yeah.
we all know Cabras is, every time we run it, it's more expensive than renting alternative engines.
Yeah.
But it's the
But
only
it's
ones
good
that
to
can
have
burn
us-
off.
yeah,
It's
it's
the only ones
good
that can
to
burn
have
off the
us-
fuel, right? So
Yes.
That's correct.
yeah.
that's what we're.
All right.
We use it until we burn it all up.
Go ahead, John.
Yes. So on this resolution, we want to reflect, we want to revise the 2026 budget to reflect the reduction of the base revenue. We projected $50.7 million. If it become effective January 1st, will be a reduction about $12.7 million of the base revenue. So the new base revenue will be about $38 million for the remaining year. In addition, we have increase in fuel cost. If we have to burn the RFO, we'll probably incur about additional $23 million, so we want to increase the budget for that. The other things we want to do is Ukudu, because it's not, did not come in line in October 1st as we planned. So we're looking about reduction of $17.7 million. That includes O&M and principal and interest payments or fixed capacity fee. So we'll reflect it in our financial statement. The other one is, we just discussed earlier, is the additional expenses to run Cabras 1 and 2, which is about $1.42 million. The last one is we want to reflect is the change in the retirement fund. It went from 30.77% to 33.85%. That was the additional cost of $1.64 million. They want to reflect in our budget.
Questions, colleagues?
So the revenue is going down because of the delay in the increase, right? In
Yes.
the base rate, right?
Yes,
'Cause
yes, yeah.
Ultimately, the base rate's going up to pay Ukudu, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is, but we passed the budget for the whole year 4 months ago, and now you're just making the
Yes.
calculations.
Yes.
the
The net,
adjustments.
yes. So the net impact on the financials, on the cash flow wise, it's almost like 670,000. It's just a wash, just a moving of accounts.
Good. And I just want to mention that when we do have boiler tube, we have professional welders that can patch it up, you know, then sometimes, many times, that's what we do. And they can do it very quickly as long as we're shut down, you know.
When are we going before the PUC?
I'm sorry?
You're at, for the base rate and of course LEAC.
Oh, yeah, oh, sorry, yeah, December 22nd. So they are officially entertaining us on December 22nd. We're looking for the base rate adjustment, and hopefully they'll entertain us on the LEAC, which we'll discuss shortly after this. So,
I mean, you know, the public was falling over themselves coming out to listen to us. I'm sorry, listen to John B. Guys, nobody attended, except Pedro Guerrero. I'm sorry, but she's a commissioner, and she was confused. I'm sorry, she wasn't sure. But anyways, yeah, guys, I mean, obviously we want this. I'm just wondering, we're putting the cart before the horse, but yeah.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're confident we're going to do it, then okay. All right, questions, guys? I mean, yep, this,
Yeah, so if I heard you correctly, the PUC meeting's on the 22nd.
yes.
And this assumption is based on revenues, assuming that the base rate changes are approved effective January 1st?
Yes.
Is that realistic? So
yeah.
from December 22nd, they make it effective January 1st?
Usually
Yes.
the meter's read after.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. We went through all the procedures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
And I believe we have a new AOJ, right? Or
Yes.
At least in this particular one,
oh,
it's
for
going to
this,
be
yeah, for the base rate
Mr.
raise.
Alcantara,
Yes.
Attorney Alcantara?
Oh,
Yes, yeah, Joe Fed.
but Joe Fed
Yeah,
done
the
the
Attorney
budget.
Alcantara, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
When we say base rate, that means the power rate goes up for the ratepayers.
Well, the base rate goes up, but the LEAC.
Leah.
Yes, and,
So the net, the
The
net
net
effect to the
effect is
customer on the total
negligible.
bill is a wash, basically.
Okay.
Actually, it's a reduction, right? And they're already, we've already passed on the reduction, right? I mean,
Yes.
since last January to now, the total power bill is lower because the LEAC has been lowered since last January. And as you said, it's the largest portion of the bill,
Yeah.
right? So
The
right now,
more- the-
ratepayers are paying about 25, depending on your class,
That's good.
23 to 28% lower power rate than they were paying in January of this year. So that's all because of the anticipation of Ukadu coming online. As
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. The more percentage goes on, the more it looks good for all of us.
Well, every ratepayer wants that
Yeah.
lower power bill, and
And for John, the many years that he worked, you know, when the rate goes down, we can make a monument for him, you know.
All right. Okay, I need a motion, gentlemen. Colleagues.
oh, I'm sorry. I move to approve, Mr. Chairman, GPA Resolution 2026-007 relative to the amendment for fiscal year 2026 GPA budget.
Second.
All right, call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anything else?
The LEAC?
Okay, let's go.
Oh, yes. This is for the resolution.
John, why don't I read
Oh,
it
yeah,
and then,
yeah,
okay.
sure.
So, sir, we're coming before you for resolution number FY 2026-03 to authorize the management of GPA to petition the GPUC to reduce the LEAC for the period of January 1, 2026 through July 31, 2026. The objective is to meet the December 15th upcoming LEAC filing deadline with the PUC. GPA proposes to reduce the LEAC factor to 13.5840 per kilowatt hour for the period of January 1, 2026 through July 31, 2026. The average fuel price is expected to be $94.57 per barrel for the period ending July 31, 2026. GPA proposes to implement the base rate adjustment concurrently with the LEAC factor reduction effective January 1, 2026, thereby aligning the rate changes with the anticipated full commissioning of the Ukadu Power Plant on or by December 31, 2025. While the base rate increase is necessary to recover the costs associated with the Ukadu Power Plant, the corresponding reduction in the LEAC charge, which is resulting from the decreased fuel consumption due to the plant's high efficiency, helps mitigate the overall financial impact on customers. By implementing both adjustments simultaneously, GPA ensures that the ratepayers will receive the full benefit of the anticipated fuel savings from the highly efficient power plant, thereby reducing the net effects on GPA's customer billing. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to John Kim to explain.
Okay.
John, when they say LEAC, it's an acronym for me. I'm kind of new. Can you kind of detail, just explain to me what exactly is that?
Oh, so it's LEAC stands for Levelized Energy Adjustment Clause.
What?
Levelized Energy Adjustment Clause.
Levelized, okay.
Yeah. So when you're what it is a direct charge of fuel costs to the customers. So the base rate will cover for the loan payments and operation and also the IPPs and running of the plants. However, the fuel charges, which is LEAC, we'll get reimbursement for those. Normally we set about 6 months. We predict what the 6 months of the fuel cost gonna be, and we set a rate, and we get reimbursed. If we over recover or under recover, we adjust in the following LEAC periods. For this period, since we're doing a base adjustment in January 1st, we asked the PUC if they could entertain us for December meeting to reflect the LEAC adjustment January 1st, so that base rate will slightly go up, however, it will be offset by the LEAC fuel costs. So right now, we are requesting 13.58. So in other words, for 1,000 kilowatt customers, the increase will be only about $8 per month. So that's what we've been advertising before during a village meeting. It should be between $0 to $8.
So the
Yeah,
L,
yeah, I'd like to
okay.
hear it from you. Yeah,
Back last century,
Because
when I was
you're
a-
22 years
Yeah.
in service. I think it's
Yeah.
good to you
So
explain.
last
really.
century, when
Yeah.
your predecessor and I were on the PUC,
Yes,
so some power companies,
yes,
they change the fuel rate every month.
got it.
Some do it 2 months, some do it 3 months. The concept of levelized, the L, was to say, let's project a rate that we can keep level for 6 months, right? Versus not being like a gas station where it can go up this week, go down next week. That just, we can't function as a business and ratepayers go crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because we only send them bills.
So, you know,
So the L, well, let me
what-
finish. The L, the levelized says we take a 6-month projection from February 1 to August 1 usually, and from August 1 to January 31. We project our fuel costs, and then we levelize it. We just say, we want that rate, what would be the average rate for that 6-month period given our projections? And that's where the L, the levelized, the
Level.
concept was to keep the rate level for a 6-month period. Some do it for a 3-month period. Some change it every month, right? It's up to that power company, but the original PUC that your predecessor and I were on, and after all the work and talking with John B. back then, we said, let's not have a power bill that goes up this month, down next month, like the gas stations do. Let's levelize it. And then we predict for 6 months, and if we're short, the next 6 months, we raise it at a level basis. If we've over-recovered, we reduce it. But we levelize that reduction, or whatever the change is, we levelize the rate for 6 months so that it's easier for ratepayers.
So it
and it's
doesn't
easier
go-
for us.
I
And
have a
that's where
little
the L-
question.
That's where it comes
You know, throughout the states, the fuel went down to $2 everywhere you go, $2.50. Why is Guam still paying
Because we're
$500?
in the middle of nowhere, you got huge freight costs.
I know, but it never went down. I understand that the fuel
We
went
lowered the
down.
LEAC since
It
January.
went down 10 cents.
Yeah, we've lowered,
But-
and we've lowered the LEAC since January.
Yeah, since
I,
you
I,
were the
it's not, I
commissioner-
know, it's not our thing to be able to regulate the fuel for the gas station, but I was just comparing, you know, everywhere you go, it's $5 some, and it never, you know, but everywhere in the States was just $2.50 in the morning.
Well, and if you're talking about retail gas station where we drive our car in.
Yeah.
That's a totally different
Totally
economics
different thing.
than the fuel that we buy for the Guam Power Authority or any power company. That's a
But,
totally different economic
It's good to
situation.
stand and maybe say something about it, but I think they went up and just stayed up, you know, but I think you said that's another department
Well,
that the governor should be able to.
If you review the stuff, John B., he tracks global world prices to our price, right? So, you know, we follow the market because that's where we buy it
Yeah.
from, right? But we levelize the impact and average it out over 6 months. So that's where the L comes from on the LEAC. It averages out, we project, and then we adjust every 6 months. Some do it 3 months, some do it 2 months, some change it every month. Saipan right now, they didn't change it, but they adjust it every month. We send a letter out every month.
Thank you for clarification.
Commissioner Duenas, I'd also like to point out that for the oil that is burned at the Cabras Power Plant, that's a very, very expensive fuel compared to the UFL, the diesel
It's
that
the
we're
most
burning.
expensive.
It's the most expensive, and so when
Yes.
we retire that, the LEAC will become even more levelized.
Yes,
Lower.
it's expensive because we purchase it through Asia, but you know, US has went down to 63 per barrel.
So it's expensive.
We are paying 120 per barrel. That's twice, 3 times more.
The
I'm just
current
un-
RFO is expensive, sir, because of the amount it's the amount of blending that needs to be involved. So to make that fuel that EPA is approving, it became very expensive.
Yes, but is there a way we can, you know, look at other areas where, you know, for example, Russia has gone down to $30 a barrel in this kind of oil, but
We have
pay
some,
$120, it's a lot.
there are some limitations on
barrel.
where we receive our oil, but when we do have our bids out, anyone can bid. And then they have to qualify, and so if they want to get it from the US, they can. But historically, it's been very expensive, and in fact, so expensive that no one has bid to bring in the fuel from the US.
Even the U.S. military buys it out of the refineries in Singapore.
Yeah,
Well,
but US has gone down tremendously
but
if we can go.
But it's not, you can't compare, the way you're doing it,
I know.
you're kind of mixing apples and oranges.
I'm just saying, $120 per barrel when others are paying 60 and 50, it's a big amount. So,
We're not paying
Not moving
$120 a
America,
barrel.
so- All right, let's go,
yeah.
let's go. Let's get
It's
going
it's
here.
okay.
Yes.
Mr. Duenas, we want to finish.
Yes, if you could, front of the slide, Yeah, we could start the GP journey. So this is the story we've been mentioning in our village meetings. Mr. Beneventis did an excellent job of relaying the messages. So in January of 2025, our bill on the average 1,000 kWh customer was $359. In February, the price of LEAC went down, so the average bill went from $306. So that was about $53 saving that was passed on to the ratepayers. Then again in August, we went down down to $253. Those additional $53 in fuel cost that was given to the ratepayers. So in total, it was about $106 that the customers have been saving since August. If you equate that for an annum, it's almost $1,000. That's $1,000 savings that the customers could put into their pockets. So in the village make, we weren't quite sure what the LEAC's going to be, so we said it's going to be between $253 to $261. Right now, we're requesting about 13.58 cents. So that equates to about $8 in the reduction in LEAC plus the base rate is going to be net impact is about $8. And that's what we always mention, that we want to minimize the impact. So we asked PUC if they can entertain us the LEAC adjustment in January. So they're working on it. We've been working with their consultant to bring the docket to them for December 22nd.
Should be good.
On the next slide. Yeah, that's pretty much, we went into LEAC in January was 26 cents. In February, we moved to 20.9 cents. Then in August, 13.5. Now we're asking about 15.5 now. In January, we're asking for 13.58. Okay. Next slide. This is decrease in February, they 14.8. Next decrease again is $53. The same amount, that percentage change because of different denominators. So it's 17.4. Next slide, please. So this is the RFO. We did purchase one. We purchased this is probably the last purchase we ever gonna have for RFO, and we came in about a couple weeks ago. Was about $111 per barrel.
And that includes not only the oil, but the refining.
Yes.
And in our case, we had to double scrub it. It's the cleanest, we buy the dirtiest oil, and then we had to clean it up the most. And that's the differential, Commissioner Duane, is
Yeah.
you look at the barrel, yeah, that's the easy part. But the refining, where do you refine it, and then shipping it here, right? That's big, that's a lot different than refining it in Texas and driving a truck to the nearest power plant and dumping gas into their power plant. You know, so that's why the barrel comparison is only the beginning of the comparison. You're only looking at the raw product. That's global, right? But refining it and shipping it to your end customer, no bidder from Texas has ever said, I can do it cheaper than everyone getting it from Singapore, including the United States military.
My comment is, you know, whenever you buy anything, fuel or what, it needs to be calibrated, because like I go to, for example, the National Guard, and I take a 5-gallon container, and when I pump it and fill it up, it's $5, but it's still only like 1/3. So I know the calibration is not right, but when you go to Anderson and a certain pump, you know, I used a 5-gallon and I pumped it. It goes over $5, you know, and I mean over 5 gallons. And so I choose that pump because I know the calibration is really perfect and you get more. So I'm just saying, when we buy something, it's good that we make sure it's calibrated correctly, because you just move a little bit and you know every barrel you lose. So you know, even our gas station, you got to be careful, and you got to Because, you know,
Calibration's
just,
done at a tanker level.
Can you,
yeah, just what, because
can you
that's,
take my
that's,
car then, sir, and gas it, since I
yeah,
can't go in
because
base?
all my
so
life I
Us
calibrate.
folk are,
Yeah, but I'll
us
tell
folk
you,
can't go in base, you know?
yeah,
All right, let's go, let's go.
yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
Anything else, John K.?
We're gonna lower the LEAC, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
This is, yeah, this is the stuff that John B. tried to do for 3 straight nights, and he was,
Yeah.
did not happen, so
Okay.
anyways. Okay, motion?
Yeah, I move to approve GPA Resolution 2603 to authorize GPA management to petition the Guam PUC to reduce the LEAC for the period of January 1, 2026 through July 31,
Second.
2026.
Second, Commissioners. Questions? None, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Anything else?
Sir, would you like to go over the GM report?
No.
All right.
We got, the most important one honestly was the updates for Ukudu,
Yeah.
because that's obviously driving our entire conversation. The LEAC, I think we've,
Yep.
and good luck on the 22nd, you said?
Yes.
Please remind us, and we can also attend and be there to help support you guys.
And good luck
Too
on
big.
the commissioning.
Yeah,
I need
that's,
that. That's
yeah,
gotta be, that's on them now.
yeah. Okay. All right, thank you very much. Colleagues, we do have a executive session we have to go into. Give us 5 minutes to get ready. Thank you. I need a motion, please.
A motion to go into executive session?
All right, so moved. Okay, hold on. I think you need to do something, right? Yeah.
That's different that they can only lease.
It's not, it's not us, me and, yeah, me and
Need a
you.
motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you, guys, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I still have
Holidays,
time.
everybody. If we don't see each other, Merry Christmas and all.